From the beginning, our focus on game creators and you, the gamer, gave us 3 big goals we needed to hit. Teraflops, teraflops, and teraflops.
Greetings and welcome to another conversation where we'll be talking about Xbox 2018 and also having like a glance at the past. I'm Russell and joining me is Mitchell.
Hello.
Xbox has had a questionable kind of last year. Like,
Very.
I mean, it's just passed, but it's one of those ones where you look at it and as a collective whole and compare it to its competition. You're kind of like, did Xbox have that great a year?
And I guess the answer is no.
Yeah, it's not great in general, like how it went down. Like, they did have Xbox One X though, which I think is probably the biggest positive turn they had, or at least in the public perception of them.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know, we now have a new console that stands for something, as opposed to like this oddity of just like constantly changing their opinion. It's like, oh, we did do that, but we're not doing that anymore.
We're trying to fix this thing, guys. Come on. Yeah, the Scorpio. Yeah, still calling it Scorpio. I have it. Project Scorpio Edition. That's why I call it that.
Yeah, it was a cool name.
Cool name. And then the Xbox One X is a bit shit, but look, it works.
For the most part, all their naming conventions pretty bad though.
Yeah, the Xbox 360, Xbox One. I can't count. But yeah, the world's most powerful console as well. They got that under their name. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, and that's definitely how they're branded. And at least it's technically true. Like, it's funny to see like Sony's like backpedal on like what they used to say is like it's the world's most powerful console. And now I'm trying to remember what they even say. It's like,
yeah, I forget what it was, but then then they got rid of that. I wonder why.
It's like, I think it might be the best games or the best gaming experience or something like that. Like, they just rebranded it into something. It's like, oh, we can't use that anymore.
I can't use that one. Microsoft's got that. But yeah, it is true though. It's technically stronger than the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, and at least they included a bloody 4K drive, as opposed to Sony's idea. It's like, let's not put that in. It's like,
it doesn't matter. It's like it kind of helps sell it.
Yeah, it's everything helps, and like having something else that your competition doesn't have is always good.
Yeah.
But I guess the problem with the X for me has always been like, what's using it? Like in the context, like
Super Lucky's Tale,
Super
launch
Lucky's Tale,
title,
amazing game that came out I think a week after Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah, just another platformer, just a week after one of the best platformers, arguably of all time.
Crazy release. Like, it's one of those ones where you and me are on the same page. Like, I don't know about this one. This probably isn't going to be good.
It wasn't good on Oculus Rift.
And surprised it wasn't. But it's one of those things where I think they were just trying to hit the kid market and they just didn't have games in that area.
Yeah, they didn't. And I mean, they were initially were pushing Forza 7 and Crackdown 3 as like, these are the titles that are the 4K ones. The ones to be excited for.
And for the most part, like, those games didn't even come out when the X came out, which was always weird too, where it's like Forza came out before.
Yeah, a month before, and Crackdown 3 unknown.
Yeah, so it's always like, you might have been playing it for a month or whatever, but now you can play it in better fidelity.
But yeah, that's why they were pushing Assassin's Creed Origins as like the title, because they didn't have one.
And I think for the most part, that's like what the Xbox One X was like, it's the better... I guess it's the visually best on a console. I'm sure PC is superior in every way. For third-party experiences, and then I guess for Forza and stuff. But for the most part, I think the best game they had this year, I don't even think it is like, and clearly the best, was Cuphead. That's the best game I had.
It's not even a true exclusive to Xbox. It's just under their little program.
And it's not something that needs a 4K system to look good. Like,
it looks good anywhere, on everything.
I don't even think 4K would have made much of a difference at all. If it even supported 4K, it might just be like, whatever, just put it on. And that's kind of thing. That's the biggest thing they had. But at the same time, kind of leading into 2018, I do think Xbox is building not a strong catalog of IP. That's one of their biggest problems.
That's their weakest. Yeah. That's their weakest part of their whole system. It's just like they don't have the IPs that Sony and especially Nintendo have.
But they are building a strong consumer-like focused backbone to their system that potentially, if they do catch up or suddenly get these really good IPs, could start to pay off in dividends as opposed to Sony, where suddenly go, all your old games, Xbox Classic, and Xbox 360, you can play them on an Xbox One system. You can play them on PC. Like, it's just giving consumers so many ways to play, Microsoft games.
The greatest place to play.
It's just giving you these choices where if they start to get like these significant IPs, I really do think it can pay off. And that's the thing. Is like, do they have those IPs? Like, Kinect is dead now. It's gone. in
Connect
every
is especially dead as completely gone. It's like
Yeah.
discontinued October 25, and as of I think yesterday, the Connect adapter, which you need for the Xbox One X or the S, being discontinued. So they're just pushing away from.
So straight off the bat, you can write off Kinect. Like, don't even worry about Kinect anymore. It's not happening. They're just like, enough people are consuming them. No one's developing games anymore for them. Let's just cut that off. Which, I guess it's a smart idea, get rid of the dead weight, but it's one of those things where it's like...
The weight from the launch where they revealed it.
Yeah, it's like something that made it unique is just gone now. It's like, oh well, now it's just basically a normal entertainment box, which I guess for most part was the problem originally as it wasn't. And I was like, it's basically just what you expect from a game console.
Yeah, whereas originally it's like it's always online and stuff. Like my cousin still thought it was, which I thought was hilarious. It's like they completely rebranded from that.
And I do think that's the problem. Is like people still do associate with it being always online. I think
that's
all
the badness that came with it.
Yeah, it's still like trying to recover from that. And the Xbox One X was released like that, but I think the problem was it cost a lot, and it was clearly branded as a 4K device. And I think for general consumers, if you look at 4K, all you think is, I need a 4K screen. It doesn't matter what other benefits it might do. It's just, you get 4K screen, otherwise it's not worth it. And I think that's also why Xbox One X has struggled. But at the same time, it's been doing relatively well, at least in comparison to like the PS4 Pro, which didn't do nearly as well.
Yeah, it's in the UK.
At least, yeah, and in the first weeks or whatever. But it's not making a dent on like Sony's success though. That's
and it's not holding the other console sneaking right up on it.
Yeah, and the other thing is like when you compare Xbox current future to the rest, it's kind of scary and from the Xbox perspective if you're just that's all you have, because basically we've got Crackdown 3. You and me in the same mindset on this. Not looking forward to it.
No.
I honestly think prediction is going to get cancelled. Like,
it is a chance because it's like they keep pushing it back and back, and like, what do we do with this game? People, and the problem is if they cancel it, then there's so much badness or bad will push forward again, like from Scalebound returns.
Like, Scalebound was like, I'm pretty sure it was January last year. Let's cancel it. So I was like, well,
welcome to 2017.
Tradition 2018. Let's cancel Crackdown straight off the bat.
Crackhead.
Crackhead. So State of Decay 2, we don't have a release date for that, but that'll come out at some point.
Yeah, I don't think it's a heavy hitter. It's meant like the State of Decay 1 was like an indie game, kind of still published by Microsoft, but still smaller. This one's more fully co-op.
Well, they just got PUBG at the end of the year, which I haven't played it myself, but from what I've been hearing, it's got a lot of bugs. I mean, the game rating was buggy to begin with.
And the frame rate is awful, according to Digital Foundry, but it still sold a lot. Like that game still has hype.
And that's the thing. I still think it'll have goodwill for Xbox potentially in the first start of the year. It's Christmas or it has been Christmas, etc. Let's buy something for Xbox One X. PUBG, I've heard everyone loves that on PC. Let's get it on console. I mean, it is exclusive to them at the moment. Yeah. And then the big one is Sea of Thieves. Like, that's the biggest one they have.
Yeah, the one that we know of. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, March 23rd is the release.
March 23rd is or the 22nd. I forget.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on where you live, honestly.
In the world.
Yeah. So that's a game where it's got a creative idea, which is good. So it's something different. I just feel like it's not a game that's going to have mass appeal or longevity. Like, I don't think people are going to continue to play it.
And I don't know if it's a game you're going to want to really play on your own. And I don't think there's any story to play. There's just the whole open sea, which I think will be cool. But I don't know how much staying power it'll have and how much people want to actually do the activities present in Sea of Thieves.
It's one of those ones where I think it has the chance of being one of those like YouTube sensations where it's like everyone's streaming it for some reason and everyone's really getting into it, and suddenly like people are watching their favorite YouTubers or whatever and going, I really like them. I want to play this game now.
But there are a few faults with that. It's a full price game.
Yeah.
Like, fully priced. It's not... Most of those YouTube sensational games are usually cheaper indie titles. So Minecraft was very cheap, and that blew up. Terraria, really cheap. People play that, and so forth.
But as it currently stands, it's the only game we know of that I think has a chance. I really do think Crackdown 3, if it comes out at all, is just going to bomb. And State of Decay 2, I think, is just a small enough market that it probably won't break out of that anyway. Sea of Thieves, I think, has the potential to maybe at least have initial, like, huge release. But I think it'll die off. I think people will get bored with it.
Yeah, that is the massive potential, but there are still there are other IPs that they have.
other potential, and that's the thing because Phil Spencer always talks about how like he wants to announce games and then to come out relatively after. Like, it's hard to know if that's just his stance because currently they haven't announced anything. So it's like, well, we got to announce it close to the chest because we haven't got anything, or it's like a jab at Sony, where it's like Sony quite clearly has been the developer that are announcing games way too early. Where it's like,
definitely,
well, 3 years before you get this one.
Shenmue 3.
Yeah, like there's plenty to be excited about on the Sony front, but it's like when you actually get these games on Sony, it just takes so long.
Yeah, it's just, but it means there is hope that okay, they've got games in the future. Whereas Xbox, until we see probably E3 because they've got no other event, what will they have? And E3 is the predictable few, I think. And
you got to hope with the Xbox One X coming out for 4K that they've got something to bring. Like there are a couple of interesting ones at E3 they announced. Like I guess it's by association. Like Anthem looked cool. I don't know if that's coming out this year. Probably
bit
not.
risky. Yeah, not a lot of hope left for that one.
that's true too. But it's like it showcased well at E3.
Oh yeah, it did look really pretty and showed off the power of their console, which is what they really wanted to do.
But you never know like what level of commitment they have to it. Either like how exclusive is it? Destiny level exclusive like Sony has, where it's like you're getting exclusive content.
I believe so, but then again they might not. I mean, Phil Spencer said before he doesn't like that.
Yeah, and they talked about it in the sense of visual fidelity, where it's like, oh, it'll look the best on Xbox One X. It wasn't like, same with Assassin's Creed, where it's like, it wasn't like, you're going to get exclusive stuff, it's just, it'll look the best. As you said, Phil Spencer, I think, doesn't want that. Where it's like, we're locking stuff out of everyone else. I don't think he wants that. And the other one was Last Light, I think it was? Was that indie one?
Metro.
Metro is last. No, not that one. Oh. It was like, it was a First Light. It was the Blade Runner, 2D... otherworld looking one.
Yeah, that one.
That visuals looked really good. It just reminds me of like potentially good indies. Like they had Inside, very limited exclusive, mind you.
Very much so. They do have Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Ori and the Will and the Wisps, yeah, exactly. That's one where it's like, I don't know when we're gonna get that.
No.
If they fast track it, maybe this year.
I don't want them to.
Yeah, it's a problem because I guess the engine, if it's already built, it's probably quicker.
Yeah, true.
But I can't expect that. But the one I would expect. Just based on tradition, is that we'll get a Halo 6 this year.
Whether we'll get the game or reveal is up to... But it's been so long since Halo 5 that it seems obvious that 343 don't make anything else, apart from ruining Halo, which they've done a fair few times, Master Chief Collection. Absolute disaster. It's apparently been fixed this year, but
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, Halo 5 ended on a cliffhanger that just seemed obvious that Halo 6 is a thing. Apparently they're getting rid of the number thing. Apparently it's not going to be called Halo 6. That
already sounds like a mistake to me, unless they do a Tomb Raider and Why would they re-establish Halo, though? It doesn't make sense
but they're still continuing their new trilogy.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the finale? Yeah, this is the finale for the little Halo 4, 5, 6 thing.
Yeah. If it's not, it doesn't come out this year, which I feel like it has to. Otherwise...
I definitely feel like they have to have Halo.
Yeah. It has to 100% be announced this year. I think it has to come out this year. Otherwise... we might have a similar look back next year and go, well, what did they have last year? Not much.
Where was Halo 6? We predicted it would be, and where was it? Yeah. But I think it'll be like their big end-of-year kind of like game. It'll be announced at E3 maybe at the end of it, and we've got one more announcement, thinking people are that excited. But even the biggest fans of Halo might have lost a bit of that.
And I guess that's
someone.
I think it's the problem with Halo 5 is like it had bad will towards fan, at least in the story context. I think a lot of people like the multiplayer.
A lot of people like the multiplayer, but the story was very mixed. People either really liked it or hated it.
Yeah,
I'm in the hated it camp.
And that's never good for a franchise. Like you want connectivity between all fans. Like everyone liked it, as opposed to only half of us actually enjoyed that movie or game or whatever. So I think Halo 5 is definitely Halo 6 is the safe bet, but they need like something crazy. And I think to do something crazy, the problem is like it can't be a Japanese game. I feel like it can't be just because of their bad will between Scaleband and their disassociation with that country in general. It's like it really makes sense.
It's just hit them many times. They keep trying, doesn't work.
Yeah, so it's got to be like something closer to home that's still like associated. You know what? Fuck it. We're bringing back Fable.
Playground Games is developing a new RPG. It's Fable. You heard it. Open world. Fully open world.
Yeah, fully open world Fable from the ground up. Everything you love about Albion.
Peter Molyneux's back.
Yeah, Peter Molyneux's back as creative director.
That tree you plant will become a big tree when you get there later. It's all coming back.
Yeah, the world will build itself around you, Albion. It's like it'll be the Fable you always dreamed of.
Yeah, and the one you always wanted to play, and you can hold each other's hands.
Yeah, it's like, oh, actually, no, I'm just thinking like, oh man, I'm like, no, Sea of Thieves, patch, Fable. So it's like add on the Sea of Thieves, like some kind of Fable add-on.
They just merged them together in this mega game, and they just resurrect Lionhead from the dead.
Yeah,
but if we're right, my god.
That's what Xbox need though. They need something that you go, whoa, I did not expect that.
Well, they did not expect that one.
You don't. Yeah, I don't want the here's Gears 4. It's like whatever. Oh, Gears 5.
Gears 4's already come out. We played it.
They keep dropping the digits on everything these days.
And they're all robot enemies. We've cut out the people or robots.
Just robots now. But yeah, it's potentially an exciting year for Xbox, or I think it needs to be. It's like right now it kind of isn't, but it has the potential. I think like if they've really been saving something, it could be crazy E3.
Could be a good E3, but if they've been just making it up, going, well, we're losing, let's just cover our ass and just go like, well, you got something big coming.
and that's what I need to do. Like promise something big, and deliver that promise. Don't another scale bound. Like promise and deliver.
Yeah, prove it.
Prove it. But yes, we have been Optional Extra, and you can find our various bits and bobs on the YouTube channel, discussion mode, reviews, look-ats at different games and whatnot.
All kinds of videos.
And of course, like if you liked the video, like and subscribe, and give us feedback.
Especially if you hated it.
Give us that negative comments. We want to hear all about it.
We get a few every now and then. We need a few more just to be happy.
To build it up. And of course, thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.
Peter Molyneux's back.